I'm Kerry with GHSA, and I'm here with Kelly from Nationwide for our Associate Member Spotlight. We're delighted you're here today. Why don't we start by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Nationwide.
Great. Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity today to talk about some of the things going on at Nationwide. Like you said, my name is Kelly Hernandez, and I lead the personalized telematics programs at Nationwide. So if you've heard of our Smart Ride program, it's our discount program for safe drivers, and Smart Miles, which is our pay-per-mile program. For those not familiar with Nationwide, Nationwide is a Fortune 100 company headquartered in Columbus, Ohio. We are one of the largest and strongest diversified insurance and financial service organizations in the United States, and have been proudly protecting people, businesses, and futures with extraordinary care for over 95 years, and have been a strong advocate for safer roadways throughout that whole time. I would say we've accomplished that advocacy through partnerships with manufacturing groups and safety organizations like the GHSA and others like NAD and the National Safety Council. And, really have been a leader in this space. We were a founding member of the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. And, as far back as the 50s, we were an advocate for seatbelt use, and then after that, promoting airbag adoption. And most recently, we've really been leaning heavily into distracted driving, either through enacting new laws, public awareness, and then also through our telematics programs here at Nationwide.
Well, that's great. It sounds like you might have a lead-in already, but what's a new initiative or technology that you're working on to address a particular safety problem? What are you guys most interested in right now?
Yeah, you got it. So, we have definitely seen folks adopting technology at a rapid rate. If you think about our youngest drivers on the road today, they have probably had a phone in their hand their entire lives. And I think, throughout the pandemic, we all got a little bit more comfortable with using our phones. And so back in 2020, Nationwide started looking at distracted driving data. And I will tell you, it was actually quite scary. We saw our youthful drivers, those under 25, were on their phones almost 20% of the time that they were driving. We saw that 45% of every trip on the road had at least one form of distraction. And then we saw 70% of our drivers were distracted at least once a day. And if you think about it, even if you just look at your phone for a quick glance, that's 4 or 5 seconds. And in that 4 or 5 seconds, you can drive the length of a football field on the freeway. And it was just very scary. So as we thought about it as a company, we would talk to customers, and we'd hear frequently that, distraction is a youthful driver problem. But we saw very clearly in our data that it was much broader than that. And so we thought, with our telematics programs, you can obviously encourage it through pricing, but we thought, well, maybe folks just don't understand or are aware of how often they're distracted. And so in late 2020, we created what we called an insights or awareness campaign, just showing our drivers how often they're distracted. So now within the Smart Ride mobile experience, they can go in and see how many times they were distracted that week. They can see exactly where they were distracted. They can see, were they tapping and swiping, or maybe they were on their handheld phone, talking to their friends. And then we also showed them when. And the exciting thing with all of that is with the new campaign, we were able to reduce distraction on the road with those drivers by nearly 10%, which is really exciting for me. I will say like 3 things really excite me about that. So first of all, it shows me that we can help our drivers become safer through these telematics programs. It also kind of illustrated that with that reduced distraction, hopefully we prevented an accident. And then, even more exciting, hopefully that also meant that we helped make the road safer for all drivers, which really aligns so nicely with our mission here at Nationwide. So, beyond our telematics program, we've been partnering closely with our government relations team as they've kind of led the effort to enact new laws across the country. I know they've been working with legislators to kind of create a model law. So states that don't yet have a law, they are hopefully kind of guiding the way into a law that they could, enact if they wanted to.
It sounds like you're probably going to be really busy for Distracted Driving Month.
Yeah, that's true. It's next month, April.
So what's one thing that you would like state highway safety offices to know about Nationwide?
I would just say that we're really open to collaboration and finding innovative ways to address some of our, roadway safety concerns. So, an example that we did recently through our telematics programs again is when Virginia enacted their new law around distracted driving. We did a push notification through our Smart Ride app to every single driver in Virginia, letting them know of the new law and when it would be taking effect. So, I think through our partnerships, we can continue to come up with innovative ways just like that to make a difference.
Well, Kelly, thank you. It sounds like you've got a lot of interesting stuff going on, especially the work that you've been doing with telematics in your field. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you Nationwide for being an associate member. We sure appreciate you.
Appreciate your time.